live on the Sherry Lord Talk Show podcast. Start your day off with a higher vibrational podcast with weekly guests covering spirituality, healthy foods, and so much more. Go to SherryLord.com for more info. Hey, we're so happy that everyone can join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. We have amazing people on our show and wonderful guests who are excellent at what they do and in their field. And we are so happy. We really like you guys to like us and share our page. And we have a very special guest. She is not new on our show. She is a regular on our show, but I have her on because she has a wealth of information and she's amazing. And we just love her. And we're going to be bringing in Joy Sell in just a minute. I think we just lost her. We're trying to bring her back on. But if you like, go to www.sherrylord.com. And you can also be a guest on my show if you choose. We'd love to have you. We just found her. We're bringing her back on the stage. She's amazing. Welcome, Joy, Dr. Joy Pedersen. We're so happy to have you. Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
And your topic, and we're going to talk about a little bit of everything, is how to master ascension. And just a little tidbit about you, because we have some new people. We ask that you please chat. Not everybody does, but they do watch. We love it when you chat or ask a question. We love to answer them. And Joy is excellent and an expert at what she does. So we're so happy to have you back on our show.
Thank you. It's always my pleasure.
So your topic, there's a lot happening right now with all of the light workers and with people evolving. And I really love the topic because people need to understand it and they need tools and how to master ascension.
Yes, and there's so much information that's floating out there as far as ascension is concerned. And I'd like to start with discussing something that is, I find, extremely unsettling and doesn't help anyone.
Okay.
That's a lot of the fearful messages about if you don't do it this way, you're not going to ascend. And it's only for a certain group of people. And if you don't get your act together, you're going to miss out. And that is bogus.
Yeah, it's false.
Everyone will ascend in their time frame. It may not be the same time frame as your neighbor, but it's everything on this planet is appropriate for you specifically, and where you're vibrating and your ascension is guaranteed in the time frame that's appropriate for you. No one's going to lose out. It's just more of a timing issue, but you can help your ascension move forward more rapidly when you are making conscious choices about how you relate to the world. And the first conscious choice is not to buy into fear. Anyone that is sharing fear is not of the light in that moment.
Exactly. I'm really glad you're bringing this to light because there is so many different rules and they call regulations, and it has to be, and it's not. Everybody's on their own path. Everybody gets it their own way. And, but there's a lot of beliefs there also from their past lives, you know?
Oh, exactly. Past lives have more effect on people than they realize. And it doesn't matter if they believe in them or not. It is what it is. All those memories are within the subconscious, and the subconscious is the part of us that manifests more readily than what we do consciously. So we're striving and we're wanting to meet certain goals. If our subconscious mind is not congruent with what we prefer, we're going to have blocks and barriers. And that's one of the biggest challenges.
Wow. And you've been working on this for a long time, and not only just your own life experiences, but your own knowing too.
Yes. Well, my work, I've been doing spiritual work my entire life. Calling was told to me early, not all the specifics, but I knew I was here. God actually told me when I was little, for the end of the world as we knew it. And certainly that didn't kick in until much later. And the thing to note is that all of this is purposeful It's all happening under God's direction. People have free will, so they can hinder or support God's plan. But we have new earth, heaven on earth, all available to those who are ready to ascend to it. And in New Earth, the interesting dynamic is God talks more about goal setting or alignment versus goal setting.
Yeah.
When you're in alignment, that is the key. We're moving back into our divine blueprint. So things are more naturally congruent. You can benefit by anti-aging, for example, because your divine blueprint is not necessarily in the aging dialogue. That dialogue is from old earth. We let go of those thoughts from our subconscious. We actually ascend. Every time you let go of old thinking, negative memories, karma, you are ascending. All of that contributes to a brighter future.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Absolutely. And it's just remembering to just, also to be and realign and, take care of yourself and your own alignment and your own, path. We get so caught up in everything else.
It's an inside job, and it's up to you. So those that are influenced by family members and others, we have to remember that those people have their path, their karma, their circumstances they're working through for their highest and best good. And it's up to them what path they choose. It's not for us to be concerned about them doing it in our time frame or them understanding what we're doing. It's really about us being respectful for ourselves and our own journey. We're all here. We all came in with the agenda that we were meant to meet. We're not here to meet somebody else's agenda. But so often we're watching the news and we're seeing what other people's karma is demonstrating, and we think it has something to do with us. We're influenced by family members who have a different agenda, and we think maybe we're supposed to be doing it that way. We have to go in and see what's the way is appropriate for us.
Yeah, there are just so many ways and so many paths to get there, and everybody, has their own experiences. It's not the same for each person. And I think growth is important, but the alignment, I think, is really important to remind people. Just be in alignment, of your true natural self, divine blueprint.
Well, and wealth is if you're meant to have wealth, you're meant to have wealth. You just have to be in alignment in order to have it. I've noticed where, say, if I want to save money, Source may even tell me to spend money on something that I would otherwise feel frivolous about, because he said that is in alignment. And when you're in alignment, your needs and your wants are supported by Source. Source is the provider of everything. So what people, I think, miss, and I've heard this for years, like going down a spiritual path is frivolous. They have to take care of their families. They have to put a roof over their heads. They have to honor their jobs, whatever it is. But if they understand that Source is really the provider of all, align with that first, get the limiting beliefs and the old drama and karma out of the way, all of that is provided for with ease. And another thing I will say, I see this a lot with clients right now, and many are in an up-leveling. They're in a transition stage. They're losing their businesses, or they're being guided to do business differently. They're losing jobs, whatever. And Source is really aligning them with their ultimate purpose and what they're supposed to be doing, rather than doing it man's way, the way of the past. But in the middle, it's very disconcerting.
This is really good for everybody to hear and to remember. Some people forget as they're going forward, and they got to recenter, realign, and then go back into truth. And, we're in the physical world and we are surrounded with a lot of influence, but you really got to be true to yourself and your own knowing and your own truth.
Exactly. It's a mixed bag out there. So going within and centering first, finding the peace within and connecting to source, which is so important. People have been told they couldn't connect to source or God directly. And that created a big block, even when somebody was praying. And the more they learn that they can connect to source directly, source has got them, source is their provider, and build that relationship, everything else smooths out.
Yes. Mm-hmm. What do you want people to know right now? A lot what you're saying right now is going back, which I love, is going back to truth and center. You've been helping a lot of people. I've been helping a lot of people that are ascending right now and evolving and seeking change. We're all there as light workers. But what have you found that you are able to help others with? I know we're talking about it right now, but there's more.
Well, a common thing that I've noticed in a lot of client sessions lately are, and I serve both men and women, but I've noticed it with a lot of the women lately, is that they're stuck not being able to produce the work that they're meant to, or they're unclear on the work they're meant to contribute. And they're trying to realign.
Yeah.
But it's a block. And what I found is that many of them, in doing my past life work with them,
Right.
in other lifetimes, they were persecuted or silenced.
Yeah.
Because of those old storylines, their subconscious is protecting them from stepping into their truth, stepping out publicly, writing, being visible in any capacity. So what happens is they procrastinate, they stall, they get distracted, and they don't get the clarity necessary. We clear those past lives and they can step out more visibly. I just did an ebook on the breaking the silence spell, because it is very common these days. And the trend seems to be, in my practice anyway, a lot of women who are wanting to step into their calling are being suppressed, and they're noticing in the sessions that these are the causes. So I wrote an ebook about it, and anybody is welcome to access that at ascend. Or tinyurl.com silent spell.
Okay. And they can get that and they can access that right there?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I created 2 ebooks recently. One was ascend at expresssuccess.net, or .expresssuccess.net, and the other one is tinyurl.com silent spell. Both of them are addressing ascension and the idea of being silenced and needing to be visible and having the confidence to be visible in order to step into your true nature. Before I came out with Wisdom of the Guardian, which was a book that Archangel Michael asked me to write, I was channeling for 10 years doing automatic writing. So the automatic writing was easy. I channeled his book in 23 days, and then I sat on it forever. And I woke up one day saying, I don't think this book was written just for me. I have to do something with it. But I realized, so I took myself on it as a client, and I found 8 lifetimes of persecution. And no wonder I didn't want to say anything. I didn't tell people I could channel angels at the time. I was definitely in the spiritual closet. And once I cleared those past lives, I could get the book published, which was terrific. But then I published the book, and then I needed to go out and tell people it was there in order for them to read it, right? Couldn't do that either. Then I got stuck again. So I did the same thing. I sat with myself and I cleared more lifetimes of persecution, being on stage, being not well received, so that was traumatic. So there's different experiences that we have from our past that block us. But what was so nice about this is, even if I didn't go further with the book, once I cleared those past lives of persecution, I could speak easier. And then things became more fluid. But I can see every once in a while, those past lives of persecution can come up again when we go to the next level. And the gift in that is noticing where you're stuck. The gift I have of being able to see the past lives certainly helps. And I can identify where those issues were starting from. And then I have the freedom to speak, which in itself is wonderful, to not be self-editing, not have that fear. And now I don't care. You don't like the fact that people can talk to God or angels. It's okay. I don't worry about you killing me now, which is, but
there's no fear.
Right. There were lifetimes where you would get killed for something like that. Look
at
all
the
burning at the stake. And you didn't even have to be a witch. You just have to look wrong, or somebody was fearful in their own right. So the fear that's been operating in this world has been stopping light workers, healers, anybody of wanting to contribute truth or serve humanity or the bigger picture rather than the individuals that were controlling society. We're in vulnerable situations in those past lives, which unfortunately stop them now. Clearing that, getting that out of the way, allows people to speak freely and be able to share their truth, share their calling, and feel authentic and not constricted. And being constricted can cause health problems.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was, we're all going through, I think, change. I don't know if it's a clearing or the ascension part for the next level. I have myself, as well as a lot of my clients. So it's like what you were saying. I think it's just a journey, unfolding where you are, where you want to take yourself, and I think it's wonderful the way you explain it, and I would love to have that link so I can put it on our website, where you are as our guest. I would link it onto your page so that people can click on it, if they want to get to you as well. So I think the networking would be good.
Wonderful. And I'll send you those links again.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people, they're going through a lot of change right now, and they are stuck. Some of them, they're in waiting mode. You know what I'm saying? It's like things are happening, but nothing they don't see, feel, moving. What do you tell that to people? I know, a friend of mine, her daughter's wanting a job. It's been a couple of months. She just graduated. She's got interviews. Nothing's moving. So it's this feeling insecure. That because the bills still continue. Everything's going. So it's that people are going through different states of change. And I know people with businesses that all of a sudden they were very abundant. All of a sudden everything stopped. And now they're trying to get it to go back again. So there's a lot happening right now. It's actually a blessing, even though we don't see it as that.
Right.
It's not fun to go through it, but there's something beyond it.
And you said something key. I think people want to go back to what they are familiar with.
Yeah.
And what worked before. But in this new era, things are going to be working differently. I think one of the common things that I notice now, which I was always a driven person, always take on more than I can do. And God tells me, just pick 3 things, do the most important things those days. He has me nap. I might lay down for 10 minutes for a reset. Ways of operating that are not congruent with the way I used to operate, but there's so much more peace and productivity now than I had before, which was more frantic. I've got to do all this in order to accomplish so many different things. And when I talk to God all day long, and he instructs every nuance of my life, not only because I work for him directly, but also as a person on the field, and he operates through me. So we work together on how do I operate this vehicle of me so I'm most effective, and then he can be most effective working through me.
Yep.
And it's so much easier than me in my head trying to do it all, thinking that I
Right.
know better anyway, which is
Yep.
silly.
Yeah, it's the personality. We love the personality too.
I remember when I was 17, I thought I know it all. I knew it all. Now I think there's
We
very little I
so
really
many
do know.
phases. So many different phases we go through. And, you know, you can look back and laugh, you know, you know, or, you know, whatever. It's amazing. The journey. The journey is beautiful. It really is. It's really a beautiful journey. But there is a lot of what are you getting about the ascension right now?
Well, again, it's
How are
really
we evolving from where we were? Yeah.
it's again, it's an individual thing. So we're letting go of fear.
Right.
We're in the moment.
Yep.
We're in the flow. We're not letting things bother us. If your car breaks down, it may be purposeful. You don't necessarily give it meaning. You allow things to be as they are. You don't sit in judgment. You become
Yeah.
more intuitive. You become more aware. You have more inner knowing. You trust yourself more. You trust yourself and the world more. Everything really lightens up and it becomes easier, no matter what the circumstances look outside. And again, sometimes we're looking outside as the bigger picture. If you're watching the news and the world blow up, understand that it's purposeful and it's happening to whomever it's meant to happen to. And you can still stay in your center and
Right.
trust what you're going through and accept that what's going through for you is meant for you. And then if it doesn't feel congruent or optimal, that you can look within and go, okay, what is it within me that this is demonstrating in this way? What is it showing me, teaching me? Do I need to know, do, or clear something about it? God told me this a long time ago. He said, just ask me, what do I need to know, do, or clear about this situation? And then he'll elaborate, and then you just need to address it as it is. Here's a silly example. I was getting food delivered to my door repeatedly, and it wasn't necessarily top of the line food. It might have been like fast food, which I don't typically eat.
Yeah.
But I asked God, I go, what is it? Why is this food getting delivered? Am I supposed to be taking it in and eating it? I've been leaving it outside the door. And he said, the message was that you're going to be provided for before your needs arrive. That was the
Yeah.
thing I needed to know. The part about doing, he says, you still ask, is it for my highest and best good to eat it?
Right.
It wasn't necessarily. So I could still leave it alone. So, I mean, there's little clues that we get, signs. And if we are just paying attention and being present in the moment and notice, we can learn a lot in that moment by just being present. And our presence has more power than often our productivity and our striving. We just need to be present. Just be in your body. Your intuition speaks to you through your body. And if you're in your head, you're missing those cues.
That's true. That is so true. Remind everybody to go back to your center, be present. This is in alignment. Yeah, surrender.
Surrender's
Absolutely.
that's a big one, because I remember, I think it was 2016. I said, I asked God at the beginning of the next year, I said, what do you want me to focus on this year? He says, teach surrender, which I can assure is something that we think we do in our head and we don't. And you think you're surrendered and you're not, until one day you realize, oh, I really did surrender in that moment. And it's a totally different feeling. But when
Yes.
you surrender every action in your life, your body, mind, and spirit to source, magic happens. And
Yes.
it's so much easier and there's so much less stress.
Exactly. I want to bring up, I want to bring up some of your books real quick, unless there's something else you want to cover before we go there.
No, that's fine.
Okay, I'm going to bring up this one, and then we're going to bring up your other one. You can tell how that book came about and how they can get a hold of the book.
They can get it. They can get it anywhere, but typically Amazon has it.
Okay,
But Michael
good to know.
dictated that book to me. He asked me to join him in a healing practice at the same time he asked me to write this book, and it really speaks to all different aspects of life, and it changed my life, and that was the door opener for me clearing all those lifetimes I mentioned of persecution, and I was grateful for
Wow.
that by itself. But Michael is wonderful. He's with everybody when they read the book, which is nice.
So they can get this off of Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to bring up the next book, which you do have. And this one here, is this one newer?
Well, it's
Clear your
not new.
past and change your future.
This is a body of work where after Michael and I were working together, we did a lot of world clearing, and we cleared a lot of the karma that was negatively impacting humanity. I have channeled messages in there from Yeshua, Jesus, God, Michael, Archangel Faith, and it speaks to what we had to clear and then open up heaven on earth, which we opened in March 30th of 2013. And people don't realize the dynamics of that and what became available at that time. But after that, you'll notice more people were able to channel, receive their own messages, more of the awakening occurred, more beings from the other side were more accessible, and the veil was thinning. Now, we still had time of tribulation in between there where it got very dark. But there's been a lot of work subsequent to this, clearing darkness and other influences that were holding back humanity. And a lot of that has also shifted. So they have wanted me to come out with about 11 more books. So I've got a lot of work to do. But I was so involved in doing world clearing for many years that I couldn't necessarily write or even communicate to the public about a lot of the work. And now we're coming out with more of the details of how the world has served and changed by clearing the block barriers to humanity actually even being able to ascend. It was a little unnerving when I realized they told me not too long ago that we would not have even been going through this ascension for another 1,000 years if we didn't clear some of the dynamics in the world that were blocking it. So the other side has been very diligent about helping humanity move forward. But because of people like myself on the field who allow them to work through me, we can make those shifts occur faster. The more people who awaken and step into their calling, Source and the team on the other side can work through them also to help shift and make change here on the planet. So the whole planet ascends faster than just the individuals involved.
Right. It's more of a group collective there, and beyond. Do you have a piece of paper? What you want to, is there another book cover coming out?
Oh, well, this one is just
let's see if we bring that up closer. See if anybody could see that. Yeah, okay, that's better. We can see that.
Become Ascended Master, a simple guide for modern awakening. And that's the document people can get through ascend.expresssuccess.net. And it's some basics so people understand what they can do, how they can do it, what to notice. There's an affirmation to becoming an Ascended Master. And it's the path that everyone is really on. And it's just a guide to help them understand that path a little bit easier, and they can get there a little bit quicker. It's always the work on the self. It's not something that, people, I don't think they realize you ascend when you're living on Earth.
Yeah.
It's not something you become.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, there is a lot of old teachings where people have tried to ascend many ancient times ago and they died, and they had to get past that fear. So I tell people, you're not going to die if you ascend. You're meant to be grounded and physical, and you can ascend being alive. You're right.
Well, you become ascended master living on the planet, overcoming karma,
Exactly.
your fears, the darkness, etc. But you brought up something that I want to speak to, because there's some teachings about the rapture, which the rapture is really a form of ascension, and there's some teachings about you're leaving your body and you're not.
Yeah. No.
There's
You're right.
about
you're not leaving the body. Yeah.
Exactly. You're just ascending in vibration, and you're going to still keeping your pants on. You know, like some people depict it as you're being sucked out of your clothes in cars. And it's even
it's just that old the old cellular memories too, and the fear was there too. A couple of people I've had a client saying, well, I can't wait to ascend. I'm going to leave. I'm going to be on the other side. I go, no. She finally got it over the years and shifted, and now she's just soaring, but it's that old teaching, that old program. Yeah. That cellular memory. Yeah. Sometimes it triggers people. It's safe to ascend.
Right. It is safe to ascend. You're not going anywhere. You're just having an easier life in your same environment if you're meant to stay there. But there's been so many teachings that have gone on for millennia that are spoken through someone's listening. So it's not necessarily clear. It's the culture at the time. And they perceive and teach from their perspective in that time frame and that culture and those limiting beliefs and fears. So the information may have come through purely from the other side, but their interpretation of it makes it an error. So I'm on Instagram, so I'll watch video after video of somebody teaching what they're channeling, and the trauma that comes through their messaging. Even though they might have a pure heart, their trauma is skewing the message they're delivering, and then they're adding more fear to the field. And that's a shame, because they're not helping ultimately. Some of the information is useful, but when they're doing it through their filters of lack and fear,
it's a filter. Yeah, you're right. We're so happy to have you. And how can people get a hold of you again, Joy? We love having you on our show.
Thank you. Well, anybody can reach me. Joyofspirituality.com is probably the easiest. Nobody can remember how to spell my name, so they go to joyofspirituality.com.
You can also go to our website, www.sherrylord.com. We have her Dr. Joy Pedersen, and her information's there, her website. Hopefully she'll give us the link so that we can put it on her page so that you can link to her for the Ascension, or how to be a master and all of that, ascended master and teachings, and you can contact her directly. Thank you so much, Dr. Joy Pedersen, for being on our show. We love you so much, and we just appreciate all our wonderful followers who watch us every Tuesday and share our page. Thank you so much. We hope you get a lot out of this. We have amazing guests, and we'll have her back. Thank you. Namaste to everybody. Have a wonderful, blessed year coming up. International psychic medium and podcast host Sherry Lord. She is one of the most sought after psychic mediums. Book your special readings. Go to www.sherrylord.com.